Hello everybody, thank you so much for pressing play on my video today. My name is Sharleen from stampwithshar.com, and this is our adorable project we're creating today. It's a double hinge type box, super cute. The designer series paper I used is the Lily Impressions designer series paper. Now, if you miss any of these measurements, I will have a link down in the description that will head you on over to the blog post, and there you will find measurements and instructions on how to create this box. So, we are going to need our paper trimmer. Our card base today is in Gorgeous Grape, and this piece is cut at 6 1/4 by 9 1/2, and we need to do some scoring. So we're going to use our lighter blade, and we are going to do some scoring. So on the 9 1/2 inch side, we're going to score this at 1 inch. We're going to score this at 2 15/16. Now 15/16 is the tick mark just before the 3. So you got 15/16 and then the 3 inch. We're then going to score this at 5. We're going to score this at 6 15/16. And we're going to score this at 9. We're then going to rotate it so that the 6 1/4 is at the top, and we are going to score this at 2 inches. We are going to score this at 2 15/16. We're going to score this at 4 15/16. So the tick mark just before the 5. And we're going to score this at 5 15/16. So just before the 6. And that is all our scoring. So we can now put our paper cutter away. Now this project, you guys, I originally got this idea from a German demonstrator, and I will have in the description as well a link that will take you on over to her tutorial. Okay, so we need to do some cutting. I'm going to grab my paper snips. Now you will notice there's a small end and a larger end over here. So we'll start with the fatter side, and we're going to take away this rectangle. We're also going to take away the next rectangle. We're going to take away this little rectangle in the corner. And now these two pieces we're going to miter. So we're just going to cut like so. Okay. This piece here, we are also going to miter. This rectangle we're going to remove. We are now going to miter this rectangle. And now we're going to remove this section up here. We are now going to remove this entire top piece. And then we are going to cut halfway. We're actually going to remove this square, like so. I'm going to actually cut this in half. We're going to cut this in half. And then these two tabs we will miter. I will also have a diagram on my website. I am following a guide, you guys. So don't think, oh my goodness, how does she remember this? I'm actually following a guide. As you can see, my guide, I'm busy following a guide. This you can either round the corners or just miter the tabs, optional. Some may have a paper rounder, some may not. And then what we're going to do, we got these 3 squares. We're going to cut up in the center, stopping at that mark right over there. So we're just going to cut that. Just like so. And then what we're going to do, let me see my diagram here. Okay, so we're going to cut up. We are now going to miter these tabs again. Like so. And then on these tabs, again, we're going to cut up. We're going to miter that tab. Miter that tab. We're going to cut these tabs up. And we're going to miter these tabs. And that is all the cutting. And again, if you look at the diagram, you will see how it all fits together. Okay, and I will have a copy of this on my website. We can now fold and burnish all our score lines. Okay, so that is our box. I'm going to come and use my multi-purpose liquid glue. And all I'm going to do, you guys, this little tab here, I'm going to add some multi-purpose liquid glue. And I'm going to bring this up to this piece, lining it up. And just holding it there for a second. Gives you a little bit of wiggle room. And now I can add adhesive on these flaps. Here. problem about this liquid glue. Thankfully, it gives you a few minutes to play around and get it right where it needs to be. All right, and then you're going to repeat that on the other side. The hardest part, you guys, is the gluing. Truly, it's the hardest part. And then again, give that a minute. Unless, yeah, I'm not sure. Let me just cut a section off. Maybe it's a bit long. Alright, let me get my box sorted first. And I got glue on my hands. Okay, and now we are going to glue these tabs and glue our box. Again, the hardest part is waiting for the glue to dry. Okay, now we can do this on the other side. Try this again. This one seems a bit long. There we go. And then these two come up like that. And then that slots in like so. And that is your double box. So we are going to add some designer series paper. I have 4 pieces of designer series paper, and those pieces measures 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. I also have 4 pieces that measure 1 7/8 by 1 3/4. And these ones are going to go on the smaller sides, right here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Leave me a comment, you guys. I love hearing from you. Let me know what you think. Like I say, the hardest part, you guys, is waiting for the glue to dry on the box. the stamp set, Thoughtful Blooms, and it does come with a coordinating punch. And I just stamped some on some scrap Whisper White using my gorgeous grape. Punched it out with the coordinating punch. And then, let me just make sure. Okay, that's the top of my box. I just added it with some glue dots. Super cute. And then I just finished them off with some rhinestones in the center. Awesome. Super cool. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope you'll join me back here on Friday. We'll see you then. Take care.